public hearing September 18th, 2025. I hereby call this public hearing to order on today, September 18th, 2025 at 5 p.m. County Attorney William Mercer will be providing information regarding the proposed revision of Chapter 78, Article 2 of the Union County Code of Ordinances. Mr. Mercer.
Well, hello everybody. I'm glad everybody showed up. Mr. Rollins, Mr.
Newspaper man?
Mr. Gerard, I'm glad you're here. Well, Mr. Rollins, in case you didn't know, we were changing the cell tower ordinance. This will be our second reading. Cell tower was coming in. The building department looked over. There were some contradicting things from our original ordinance that was put in place, I want to say like 2005 or 7. It's never been changed since then. There's a section in there for preferred placements of cell towers, and then further down in the ordinance there's another section of like, hey, here's what all you have to follow. And it wasn't distinctly clear that preferred placements were distinct from non-preferred placements. So the changes in here was to make sure that distinction was noted, so there wouldn't actually be any legal challenges over it if someone decided they didn't like the cell tower wherever it went. The changes that we made was are in red. If you picked up this sheet out front, the changes are in red. Specifically, we said if you're in a preferred placement, that's going to take precedent over any non-preferred placement, and that's where we want you to be. There's certain things in the preferred placement section that we would like you to meet for it to be a preferred placement, and these preferred placements are usually less residential. One thing we did add to it, there is a 5-mile rule for existing towers, and you could always circumvent that rule with certain procedures or certain elements that would come up if the tower was technologically, the one within 5 miles was technologically insufficient, if there was a visually preferable way to put the new tower, if the technological requirements did not meet, if it had insufficient antenna mounting space or structural capacity to accommodate coalition. Those are 4 things you could meet to, or a combination of those, to circumvent that 5-mile rule. What we did here is we added that also to the preferred placement and said you have to at least meet one of those to get it within 5 miles. And then now on the other 5-mile requirements, you have to meet 2 of those or more to get within the 5 miles. Other than that, everything else just delineates this is where we prefer to have cell tower sites as it was before. And then if you're not a preferred site, here's a list of other requirements you have to meet to have there. Any questions? Yes, sir.
Is this incidental to the cell tower that has applied for permitting? Like you just got to looking at it and said, oh, we need to change this. Or does this affect the cell tower that's applied for permitting?
Well, I know of a cell tower that came in. I don't know if they put in an actual permit yet or not.
Oh, I don't know either.
I don't know if they've actually applied for the permit, but this is how we did catch it. We did catch this when someone applied and we started looking at it and go, it's really not that clear about the preferred and non-preferred. And I was brought in, and as a county attorney, I'm like, let's make it clearer, because that way there's not an actual question when people look at our ordinance and go, where do I need to put a cell tower? It's always better to be crystal clear and not ambiguous. So that's why it's changing. Yes, it came up because of that.
So I guess I'm wondering, will these changes impact the cell tower that kind of came forward?
It should, because I don't believe they have filed a permit.
Okay.
Now, if they had filed the permit prior, which I don't believe they have, you could make the argument that they're under the old rules and not the new rules.
Okay. Do you know anything about the tower, like AT&T, Verizon, anything like that?
The new proposed tower?
No, the
The only thing I really heard was that there is a insufficiency in service, especially around the hospital and all the sheriff's department, fire department. Everything's right over here in town. We live in the mountains. We have bad cell service anyways. And so the towers right now are insufficient during emergency times. And there is a possibility, I don't know if it's ever happened, but in some meeting I was in, some expert from AT&T or whoever, I don't think they worked for them, I think they were just a company that they hired. There's a possibility sometimes people's regular service gets shut down just to have service for emergency services. And that's all over the place, but because of the topography of the mountains, it's more realistic for us than them, according to that man.
Is that the target area that you know of? I mean, we can't speak too much about this particular, maybe not.
It was in that target area to serve the hospital and the emergency services. Now, the exact placement, you'd have to wait till that permit's filed before, you can say where that exact placement is. But I don't believe any permit has been applied for yet. And once this goes through at 6 o'clock, it would have to meet the stuff. Huh? What are you saying no for?
That's not going through at 6 tonight.
Oh, where they're sitting on the county?
No, the second unit.
Okay. Well, whenever the second reading happens, it will be finalized. And so the permit, if it's after that, will 100% have to follow this, which all this really did is clarify preferred over non-preferred. Even adding the 5-mile section to the preferred, that was still in the ordinance that they would have had to abide by anyways. We just made it clearer. So nothing in here changed as far as we've made the requirements harder or easier. We've really just made a clarification on preferred and non-preferred. So if you take a copy of the old ordinance, Sean, and you compare it to the changes, it's real easy to see that this was really a clarifying move and not a changing move. I guess the only thing you could say that would make the new revisions any tougher than the old ones is that if you're not in a preferred site, it's clear now that you have to meet at least 2 of the qualifications that you had to meet anyways if you're within 5 miles. Whereas a preferred, we're saying you just at least have to meet 1 of them if you're within the 5 miles. So that would be the only thing that's changing that would actually, you could make the argument that would make it a little tougher for non-preferred. But the way it was written, the governing authority could have looked at that and said you don't have any of those or you had to have all of those. To me, I think it's more clarification is easier for everybody. And that's really what it's about. Young lady, did you have anything you'd like to ask?
Moi?
No, yes, ma'am. Okay. Mr. Rollins?
I just started coming to the meetings and I want to come to them all and see what's going on in the county.
All right. Well, right now we're talking about cell towers. And I know we need some up off of Rocky Top because I get no reception there. So hopefully we can write an article that we need cell towers in Rocky Top. All right. If there's nothing else, we're going to turn it back over to Mr. Collins.
We'll adjourn the meeting.